Elder. Praise Keep playing, baby. Hallelujah, Jesus. We got a word. But when you see your sheep just way down, I can't wait not 5 more minutes. Stand up, lift up your hands. Lift up your hands. Satan, I rebuke you right now. She will not give up. She will not give in. And she will not give out. Father God, in the name of Jesus, let wisdom abound upon her life, God. You make a way for her. You make a way for her. You lift up her bow down head. In the name of Jesus. 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 I employ the angels right now to encamp around you and carry you until you get your strength back. And the people of God said amen and thank God. Lift your hands, lift your hands, lift your hands. Oh, Shandere la Masaya. Get married, boy. Scoot up a little bit. Yandere la Masaya. Yo, hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus. The Bible says that the joy of the Lord is my strength. Not your mama, not your daddy, not your money. Y'all help me out. Not your money, not your friends, not your man. It said the joy of the Lord. 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 I hear God saying, look unto the hills. Give us a Kleenex. Look coming my help. My help coming from the Lord. You gotta look to God. You gotta look to God. You keep looking around and you don't see nobody. Because ain't nobody help you. The joy of the Lord is your strength. The joy of the Lord is your strength. The one thing about people, they will fail you. They will let you down. They will forget about you when they get their own trouble. But God is always with you. He said he'll never leave you nor forsake you. Hallelujah. Come lay hands on her. God, I speak strength into her spirit right now. I speak strength right now. You will not give up. You will not give up. You will not give up. You need to reposition your thinking. You need to look to the Lord. Look to the Lord. If nobody else be with you, the Lord is with you. Now, God, restore her soul. Restore her soul. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Yes and amen. Hallelujah, Jesus. Glory to your name. Glory to your name. Glory to your name. Glory to your name. Hallelujah. 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 We exalt your name in this place, Lord. We lift you up, Lord. We need you, Lord. Have your way, Lord. Heal our bodies, Lord. Heal our minds, Lord. We need you, Lord. Hallelujah. 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 I'm trying to behave. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Take away the burden. Hallelujah. Take away the burden. Hallelujah. 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 God, give us our strength back. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We need strength, God. Hallelujah. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. I hear the Lord say we need wisdom. Some of us get ready to make some real big decisions. We need wisdom. Give us wisdom, Lord. Hallelujah. We need wisdom, Lord. We need wisdom, Lord. We need wisdom, Lord.
Hallelujah.
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 Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Some of us feel trapped.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. But no, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Some of us feel feel boxed in, trapped. Like I can't go nowhere. I can't move. I can't do anything. I'm just stuck. The devil is a liar.
He's a liar.
He's
a liar. He's a liar.
God, you bless this word today. You bless the word today, God. You said the word is a lamp and a light to all of us.
A lamp and a light.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Sometimes you just don't have no words about your trouble. Hallelujah. People say, well, what's wrong? You just can't even tell. It's too much. Hallelujah. I bless your name. I bless your name.
Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah.
So we talked about last week, where is our joy? And we told one another that our joy and our strength was in our worship. When you get to the point where you can't even articulate your trouble, they can't fix it no way. Just begin to worship. When your heart get overwhelmed, hallelujah. You ain't got to be no preacher. You ain't got to be no church girl. Hallelujah. I bless your name, Lord. I worship you, God. You're worthy, Lord. You'll be surprised the strength that you get. Giving God the highest praise. Why hallelujah? It's the highest praise. You can't get no better than that. My God. So, to piggyback off our message from last week, where did my joy go? The title of this message is Make It Work. Make it work. And I was listening to a friend. He created a video and he was talking about the wild mustard seed. And we're going to read Matthew, just as those that want to get ready. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 1. And I'm going to begin at verse 18 and go down to verse 24, I believe. But go ahead and put that in your notes. But a friend of mine that I grew up with, he was talking about a week ago on Facebook. I didn't see it the day that he did it. But he was talking about the wild mustard seed and how we have to have faith and we have to believe. And as I was listening to it, the Lord said, make it work. No matter what season that you're in, make it work. And how that related to the mustard seed was, a mustard seed can grow in any environment. It can grow in a cold weather. It can grow in warm weather. It can grow in good soil. It can grow in not so good soil. Whatever the environment is, a mustard seed can grow. Now, of course, it's not going to grow to the same measure because the environments are different. But God began to minister to me and let me know that no matter what condition that you're in, you can prosper. Yeah. It's all a matter of perspective. See, it's all a matter of perspective. We think whoever I'm talking to, they feel like they're in this box. A lot of times, just because you're not moving doesn't mean you're not growing. God may be holding you hostage right now just to build you up. Because when you get ready to take a step, it's going to take so much strength out of you. He got to build you up. So as you in your position, say, God, you strengthen my mind. You strengthen my spirit. Because when you let me loose out this box, I'm going forward. And I ain't looking back. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Just because you're not moving doesn't mean you're not growing. Amen. We got to realize that we can prosper no matter what the situation is. When we say I am success. Elder Jefferson had the t-shirt, you know those t-shirts we got made, I am success. Because we're not successful because that would indicate that we had a special event. But success is our DNA. It's what we do. told her in the grocery store, but that's rather braggadocious. The truth is braggadocious. The truth is braggadocious. A friend of mine said, at your church shop, I said, yeah, we said, I am success. I'm not trying to be, I'm not reaching for it, it's already in me. When I step in the room, things change.
Amen now. Amen.
So I want us to think, look how, you know how small, remember, I don't know if some of y'all, I'm going way back about 4 or 5 years ago, when we was praying for the football players. And do you all know those football players we prayed for are all graduating from high school this year? Y'all remember that? It was all little. I had them all sitting in the front 2 rows, and I had them get scoops of mustard seeds in that bucket I had. I said, that's all you need is just a little faith. I said, y'all ever seen a mustard seed? They're like, oh man. I'm like, I feel show you. I wanted them to have a visual. All they need is a little bit of faith. And so, I thought about the mustard seed, and I thought about all we need is a little bit of fullness in every situation. You have to admit to yourself, you can prosper in any season that you're in. Flat out. It's not up for negotiation. If the Lord said He's with you always, I don't think He'll have you failing. And we mistake discomfort for failing. We mistake grieving and sadness for failure. Success doesn't always feel good. Sometimes success is just making sure you didn't step out the will of God. Hannah had an incident this week at school and with one of the teachers, and the teacher called me. The teacher emailed me, real generic email, and I said, okay, I'll speak with Hannah. I'll get the ins and outs from Hannah. So then she called me immediately because she had stepped out of line with Hannah. And Hannah can be a mouthful, don't get me wrong. But she was a little too stern with Hannah, so she called, she was explaining and going on and on. And I said to myself, now how am I going to handle this? So when she got done, I said, ma'am, you're calling because it sounds like you were too curt with my daughter and you are concerned that she's going to call and let me know. I said, but before I even talk to her, I'm going to let you know. I'm not real big on people being curt with my daughter. I said, but I will talk to her this evening. It sounds like you're having a bad day, and it sounds like Hannah was having a bad day. I said, so we're going to chalk this up as a bad day. And when I hung up, I thought to myself, wow, you really did good. Because there was a time I would have turned my car around and went up to the school. And said, now what? Are you telling me that you said X, Y, and Z to Hannah Wallace? My Hannah Wallace. And I said, don't do that, Katrina. Give her a pass. She could be having a bad day. So I was out on Old Wallace Road going to an account. I just sat in the car and began to worship because I felt so victorious. Because you all know that's my weakness, my children. And my children have been trained to honor adults even when they're being disrespectful. And so when I began to bring it up to Hannah, as soon as I brought it up, she just began to weep. She said, I'm not going there. She said, she did embarrass me, but I'm going there. So when you pass the test number 1, just remember test number 2. Hannah said, I stepped in the classroom and got ready to give her my pass, and she said, I don't care about no pass. Your daddy probably wrote it for you anyway. Oh, she didn't tell me that part. The teacher didn't tell me that. But Hannah did. But I had already had a taste of that victory. So I said, now wait a minute. Here comes part 2 of this test. And I told Hannah, I said, I'm giving myself 24 hours, Hannah. I said, then we got the weekend, so then that's embedded in. I said, so we're going to see how Mama feel on Monday. I will be successful in all seasons. I will not bring reproach upon my daughter. I will not bring reproach upon my husband who work in the building. I will honor God. We got to speak things that be not as though they were. She said, but it wasn't Daddy that wrote me the pass. I was finishing up in the algebra test, and I was about 10 minutes late. Hallelujah. Woo. Y'all praying for y'all pastor? Woo. Anybody got some kids at North Middle? Okay, good. Only got Hannah and Pastor Rob to worry about. I bring it up to say that we can be successful in all things. In all things. So Hannah came to me yesterday. She said, Mom, I believe since you've had that conversation with her, all these events have occurred before you talked to her. And she said, I believe that things will change now that you have spoken with her. So I asked that you give me a week in her class to see if things change. And I'm thinking, sometimes just having self-control is victory. Sometimes when we have self-control, we feel like people running over us. We begin to feel bad. I'm just letting them do this. I'm letting them do that. We start crying. We start getting all depressed. But we actually walking in victory.
That's right. That's good.
Holding your peace is victory in itself. We have to begin to open up our understanding about what victory looks like. So before we go to the Bible, the one thing I heard T.D. Jakes say this. One day, I don't know in what sermon he was talking about. He said, but what hinders us is not what happened, it's what didn't happen.
Oh, that's good.
And so I'm telling you to make it work. But before you can make it work, your circumstance make it work, you have to get over the grief of what didn't happen. See, you thought that A, B, and C was going to happen. You didn't even see yourself being in the situation that you're in. And it's not even so much the situation, it's the grief of the things that happened that led up to the situation. So we have to learn how to give the things that didn't happen to the Lord. God, I thought this was going to happen. I thought my business was going to catapult and take off. I thought that my son would be a straight A student. I thought that my second husband would be a better husband than my first. Whatever went on, I thought my new boss was going to be fair. Whatever it is, we have to learn how to get over what didn't happen so that we can manage what is happening. Amen? Don't let pain be your bully. Don't let pain bully you. Loose here. When you start feeling that grief and that head, loose here. You don't let pain bully you. You need to speak to your pain. So I will have some joy. Do not let your pain bully you. Let's go to the Bible for it. It says she ain't teach out the Bible. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 18. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away secretly. Joseph wasn't planning to marry somebody that was already with child. But he had to make a decision. See, when we're presented with things, we have to make a decision. Right. And we're going to make it work. Right. We're going to make it work. Yep. Verse 20. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take to you Mary your wife, for that which is conceived in her is the Holy Spirit. And she will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus. For he will save his people from their sins. When you're presented with a situation and you didn't expect it to look that way, you got to seek God. You say, now Lord, how do I handle this? This lady that told me to make it work. So how? You got to give me a plan to make it work. Right. These people acting a fool with me on my job. You have to give me a plan to make it work. I talked to my husband about the lady, And he said, well, she's the best social studies teacher at the school. I said, but she's not the nicest. I said, the social studies on the MCAT and the SAT and ACT, because if it's not, I know math and science is, but if social studies is not, maybe she can just be with a teacher that's just okay. And maybe a little nicer.
Right.
And he said, well, I want her to be challenged. I want her to use her critical thinking. You know, this is a teacher in him, right? I want her to use her critical thinking skills, and I want her to be pushed. They do projects and they do these things. He said, I believe that the benefits of her staying in that class and enduring this process will benefit her as she moves forward. And I said, well, you're going to have to pray for me. Because I'm presented with a situation like Joseph. Joseph thought he was married a virgin, and now she's pregnant. He wanted to divorce her, but then the angel came to him. So I'm thinking, God, is Rob, my angel, coming to me, letting me, because I was going to go to Dr. Brooks and just say, it's just either Hannah's going to come out of that class or I'm going to have to sit in with her. I don't know what y'all want to do. 2 options, me and Hannah, or Hannah go to another class. So that's my plan. Joseph had a plan, like I'm gonna have to, because once you get engaged back in that day, it was illegal. Eric laughs because he know I'm serious. Y'all serious. Back in the day when you got engaged, it was basically legal, even though you weren't married at the time. So he basically had to divorce her before he even get married. Before they even really got married, because he had already made the commitment. But it was the angel of the Lord that came to him. And so here's the thing. This is why we have to realize nothing stays the same, you all.
That's right.
I don't care what it is. People get that Botox, they get implants, they get all this different stuff. They still not gonna look the way they looked at 25. You may look different than what you would look if you didn't have the surgery, but nothing stays the same. I would put money on that. Nothing stays the same. Nothing. So if we just ride it out, there's a change. Because that's just life. Even if you're in a bad season, you just put your seatbelt on and sit still. Things will change. Don't let your trouble get you in no hurry. Loose here. I'm not going to let you bully me. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to find something to prosper in this season. If you didn't get the promotion, then you need to find something else, another skill set that you need to work on until another opportunity comes available. You didn't get that promotion, but look at your skill set, find the areas of weakness, and for the next 6, 12, 18 months, work on that until another opportunity presents itself. But you will prosper, whether you got the promotion or not. You're going to make it work. You're going to make it work. You're going to make it work. So Joseph the angel came to him and said, hey, you go ahead with your plan. It's okay. Verse 22 said, so all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken in the Lord through the prophet, saying, behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call him his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Now, in my opinion, if this was already spoken in the book of Isaiah, the prophet Isaiah, all of this, if God knew he was going to do it like this, why did he give Joseph a heads up? And Mary. He could have told him, y'all special. This is what's going to happen. Let's get in the hug. Let's huddle up. Talk about this. God does not always tell us everything. And we think we're so close to God. You know, I be thinking, I'm just with God. Then God let me know I'm running this. We're not running this together. I'm doing this and you walking around. You running around it and I'm running. Sometimes we feel like we deserve an explanation. Have you ever prayed and said, God, why is this happening? You don't hear nothing? Or is it just me? Because I thought, now why would this lady call me right before I go into this account that I've never met, that's one of the hugest potential prescribers in my whole territory on Old Wallace. Y'all know that where the Canary is, right across, there's a bunch of professional buildings. Y'all stretch your hands over the next time. Y'all ride down. They're going to write past the K product. They're going to write it pressed down and run it over. So I said, now I'm upset. And I got to go into this account. And I had 2 other co-workers that were going to be meeting me there. So not only did I have external stakeholders watching everything I did, I had internal stakeholders. And I said, God, you're trying to let me know that I can't control everything. Some things Hannah just want to go through.
Right.
And so this morning, God let me know that it's really not Hannah, that the teacher's irritated with the favor upon him. Hannah, the very presence of Hannah irritates her.
Right.
Because when you have the favor of God, have you ever interacted with people that you don't even know that well and they acting all crazy? Or they was your friend till you got a husband, now you got a husband, they act like they don't want to be your friend no more. You got the promotion and now they're like,
Right.
Sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's just the hand of God that's on you. So we got to learn how to work things out in the midst of the trouble. We got to learn how to make it work. And so, verse 24, then Joseph, being aroused from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took to him his wife, and did not know her till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus.
Yes. All right.
So what Joseph did, he put his plan down and picked God's plan up.
Yes.
It didn't say Joseph was rejoicing. It didn't say Joseph was happy about it. It said Joseph did what the angel said. You don't have to be happy about obeying God. Just find yourself obeying God.
Yes.
Because we really can't let our emotions dictate our decisions. Because if we let our emotions dictate our decisions, we will walk in more regret than we've ever experienced before.
Yes.
And so, when you think about it, I thought about the whole process. It wasn't just that Mary was with child through the Holy Spirit, the power of the Holy Spirit. It was also that he had to hide Mary. He had to hide Mary because people knew that they were not married. So they had to go from one place to the other so he could hide her. So then they had to transition. And then when they got close to her delivery and them getting married, they had to go from Nazareth to Bethlehem. Because back in that day, you had to present, when you were going to have a son, you had to present them and you had to have paperwork and all these things. That was the order at that time. And so Mary was pregnant traveling. So again, she had to make it work. And when I was doing my study, it was saying that the journey was a long journey and it was not real common for a woman to be that pregnant traveling. And you may say, how could this be happening to me right now? And I got all this other stuff going on. You know, the angel told Mary that she had found favor with the Lord. So the angel told her she found favor, but yet she's traveling on donkeys at 9 months pregnant, going from Nazareth to Bethlehem. She's been hidden. It don't look like favor. Just because it don't look like favor don't mean it's not favor.
Right? That's good.
See, that's what we have a vision in our mind of what we think good looks like. And I don't know about you, but for me, I'm so confident in my thought process. Oh my God. What I think, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's going down. This makes sense. Everybody's going to prosper. And when you begin to experience something that you didn't plan, sometimes it's hard to accept. And so the angel told her she had favor with the Lord, and then she's going through all of this. And so I began to realize that favor comes opposition. So if you have the favor of God upon your life, you cannot expect to have a happy-go-lucky experience all the time. And I don't know about you, but I have to begin to be aware and begin to accept that I'm going to have trouble because the favor of God is upon my life. And Mary had a whole lot of turbulence in that situation. Let's go to Luke real quick. Luke chapter 2. It was a significant distance between Nazareth and Bethlehem, and I just couldn't believe that God wouldn't figure something else out. Sometimes our trouble breeds strength. Because I don't know about you, but you have to be very strong to be able to manage and handle prosperity and blessings and raising children and having a wife and a husband and being a manager on a job. A lot of times you want to be in a high position, but the higher you go, the more warfare you will have. And the higher you go, the lonelier you will be. Because people will not be able to see your humanity. I was talking to someone that's been knowing me literally over 20 years, about a week ago, and I was sharing something with them that upset me, and they could not even process my humanity at that time. They was like, well, you shouldn't be upset about that because this, that, and the other, and Pastor Rob this, and Pastor Rob that, and your kids this, and I said, she's not even listening to what I'm saying. She didn't have the capacity to see my trouble. The more God elevates you, the less people will be able to see. It's almost like he blinds them of your trouble. Because he's more concerned about your influence in their life than he is about y'all being friends. It seems like everywhere I go now, they pass. I'm like, I'm just trying to get my hair done. Okay? But when God elevates you, he's more concerned about his will and his glory manifesting in your life than he is about your relationship. And so, no, when you ask God to elevate you, you want the promotion, you want the family. When you get there with a family comes responsibilities. With the promotion becomes more responsibility. Yes, it's more money, but it's more responsibility, more warfare. And so when Joseph stepped into this covenant relationship, he didn't realize, wow, I'm going to be raising up Jesus, the Son of God, Emmanuel. Wow. He probably didn't sign up for that, but that's what God had for him. And so you're always gonna pay more than what you thought you were gonna pay. The marriage is gonna cost you a little bit more than what you thought. The degree that you're getting is gonna be a little more difficult to get than you thought. It's always gonna be harder than you think.
Yes, Lord.
You think, oh, my first pregnancy was so wonderful. Oh, the baby sleeps through